how old are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, do you support Trump?
I do.
And if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump for sure.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
That's a good question. I think that he is changing world order in a positive way.
In what positive way?
Hmm.
Stumped already.
This is stumped already, yeah. I think that I wasn't expecting you to put in my request. I wasn't expecting you to accept it. So give me a second here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I think that there is a global contagion that is causing the world, or was causing the world to be succumb to the same problems everywhere, and that he is undoing a lot of those issues.
Like, can you be specific on anything? How is he undoing any issues? How is he making things better?
What contagion?
Yeah.
Yeah. So during the Biden years, we saw a massive spike in crime. Right?
So you think the convicted criminal is going to address crime to a greater extent than the former prosecutor, former district attorney, and a former attorney general? And how is that going right now? Because he said he would pardon anyone who commits a crime in his administration very close to the White House.
Biden pardoned 1,400 people.
Because preemptive pardons, because Trump said he would go after them.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Well, he could have gone after Hillary, and he didn't.
He said he was going to, and then he never did. So then, are you saying he didn't uphold his own campaign promise? Because he said he would go after her and put her in prison under his administration.
Change of heart. I think he had a change of heart. But either way, the pardons by Biden were insane. Like the number of people that he pardoned, and also
the January 6th violent rioters who beat cops. Like, for example.
Say that again.
Like the January 6th violent rioters who beat cops.
Yeah, I think that shouldn't have been a blanket pardon.
Yeah.
But I also think that a lot of them were wrongfully jailed for many years, for 4 years.
Okay, but we're talking about the people with police officers.
Those people, yeah. If he was a police officer, that shouldn't have happened. But I think.
And Donald Trump pardoned them and called them patriots, and released them onto the streets. So intentionally.
I don't agree with that. I don't think it should have been a blanket pardon.
And some of them have gone to actually do it all over again too. Like they've gone on to they do crimes and actually be in jail already again. So.
No, I definitely, yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it should have been a blanket pardon.
Okay, so I guess what are you trying to criticize about the Democrats and Biden's pardon?
What do you mean? Criticize about the Democrats in general, or about the pardons specifically?
The pardons.
Well, they were wide sweeping. At the last minute, he went against his own word that he wouldn't ever do that. He wouldn't pardon his family. I mean, the whole thing was weird.
So do you think?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if Donald Trump had not said the things that he said about Fauci, about Schiff, about Hunter Biden, had not railed against them and basically vowed to bring the force of the law down on them and to investigate them, do you think Joe Biden would have done what he did?
Yeah, because I think they actually committed real crimes.
Like?
Such as? Yeah.
Well, Fauci for sure.
Like? Such as?
I think he lied to the public. And I think
that's not a crime. Two, what crime?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that
in what lie?
They're two separate questions.
I know.
There was the lie to the public, I think, was that he was giving guidance via the CDC, knowing full well exactly what we were doing.
What guidance did he give that was incorrect?
Oh my God, yeah, a ton. I mean, at the beginning, there was this case of, and we were through it. I mean, it was unbelievably nuts, but, we were told that we had to be locked down. We couldn't leave our house. We couldn't be outside. I was in San Francisco, and I was looking out my window, and there was no cars driving down the road. There's no people walking around.
They never said don't go outside. That's not what they said. They said we should do lockdown, and we should social distance if necessary going outside.
What do you think happened in Canada and Italy and other places? I mean, the whole thing was...
So, by the way... you think that Fauci controlled what was happening in Canada and Italy?
I think there was a lot of influence around what was happening via the CDC's guidance. But either way...
Yeah, the CDC operates in the U.S., not in Canada or Italy.
When we were in San Francisco, no one was outside. We were on lockdown.
Okay, and so that's not evidence of Fauci saying anything incorrect or Fauci telling people you can't go outside at all.
That's just one part, but if he knew about the virus and we understood the
We
transmission
didn't.
pattern,
We didn't understand it. That's the whole point. We had to learn that, and we had exceeding information that we had learned about it over time that he would report on.
No, he knew though.
How did he know?
Well, didn't. Well, let me ask you guys. Where do you think that? Where did the virus come from? And please cite
We
the
don't know whether or not it was a lab in a leak on accident, or whether or not it was like a zoonotical leap from bats.
A wet market. Yeah.
Right. So let's look up there's a New York Times article that demystifies it. But let's say it's a lab leak. Wasn't that lab leak funded by the NIH?
We don't have sufficient evidence to establish that.
There's a New York Times article about it.
There's no evidence that it was the lab leak, right? It's a potential explanation.
Yeah. I think the article that you're referring to was a government report that said it was plausible, but they don't come to any like firm conclusion on it.
Yeah. I mean, it seems very unlikely that if that was the case, let's just say that there's a lab that was doing research on coronaviruses and viruses for government purposes, funded by the government, funded by the American government in China.
Yeah, and there was an accidental leak. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, leak or not, whether it was accidental or not.
Let's assume that every single thing about that explanation is correct. What about it?
Well, if you have knowledge about it, and you know what the virus is, and you know how it works.
They didn't have evidence to indicate that. So you're saying Fauci had information from this particular leak that, by the way, you have no evidence to substantiate in the first place, and he knew exactly how it operated, and yet told people things that were incorrect, under your view. So what things did he say that was incorrect with what he knew?
Well, if you knew, we didn't know at the beginning anything, right? Like everyone was like scared. I was scared to even like touch the Amazon box outside my door. Like no one really understood the virus. We weren't told anything. We actually, at the early days, we didn't understand transmission and how it actually proliferated or anything.
So how did he lie?
If he knew, which he must have, if
He must have, because I said so, actually.
No. If it was being funded, well, why was he pardoned up until that exact date? I mean, that's one question. But outside of the pardon, specifically, like, if we were if the United States was funding, and there are there are records. There's actually emails.
Because you guys made lies about him. I've yet to hear anything he actually did wrong.
Lying to the public's not wrong.
What did he say that was a lie?
Wait. Oh, well, wrong. Wait, if your measure is lying to the public as being wrong, then you must hold Donald Trump to being the worst human that ever lived.
Totally agree. You must be the most horrible person. Do you agree?
Like, if lying is your barometer, then man, you're gonna have a hard time defending Donald Trump.
That's funny. Yeah. I'd love to just dig in there. What's a lie to the public that Donald Trump made?
The 2020 election. He says it was stolen with absolutely no evidence. Do you want me to keep going? I can go and say a million things.
Go. Keep going.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a good one. He said he was going to release the Epstein files.
He has.
He said the climate's going to start cooling and science just doesn't know it yet. He said no new wars.
Keep going.
How many do you want me to name?
Keep going.
How many do you want me to name?
Keep going.
I asked how many do you want me to name?
As many as you can.
I'm not going to do that.
Why not?
Because it would take too long.
Built the greatest economy in the world.
It is a
greater than you've actually ever seen before. You've never seen
No,
an
they say that
economy
he
that's
built
so
the
great. We're in a
economy.
golden age, actually. The tariffs have been decreasing prices like you've never seen before. I promise you that, actually, the tariffs, they really decreased those prices, actually. Like you've never seen, I promise you that.
That's actually very impressive.
Dude,
No,
we will literally be here for like an hour with me mentioning things. I'm not joking. Like, I actually could probably go for an hour.
Which is great, because I think it's really important to call out the certain lies, because some of them are strategic, obviously. Some of them aren't lies at all because they're labeled lies by the media. Some of them, are lies, but they're not hurting people. I think in this case, like during COVID, the amount of manipulation, the amount of things that were going on, the whole like pushing of the vaccine, everything like that, I found that to be that for me was the red pill moment.
Yeah, the red pill moment
The
where
red pill
scientists told us to do things to keep us safer.
Yeah, and it
Wow,
didn't
it really turned me against. Dude, that's just literally why do try to think for a second. Why would scientists try to push people to do something like take a vaccine? Why would that be pushed? Maybe because it saves lives. Let's think about that for a second. Maybe because they want us not to die,
but
right?
it didn't save lives.
It
It
did
did.
save lives.
It saved millions of lives.
It didn't save my brother's life, buddy.
It
Just
saved my
because
dad's life.
Well, I'm sorry. Just because it didn't save your brother's life doesn't mean it didn't save anyone else's life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is where it gets to. It's like there's all of these narratives out there, and you don't actually understand the hard truths.
I do understand the hard truths. Tell me what hard truths I don't understand.
That there are side effects to the vaccine.
Yeah, but there are
There's side effects
significantly
to all of
less
it.
side effects than there are from getting the virus, and it
No.
reduces the likelihood that you'll get side effects.
That's completely incorrect.
Nope, it's completely correct. You can look at the bibliography in my bio, set up by this guy here in the bottom right, that literally is over 30 pages long, my guy, of just straight peer-reviewed sources, proving you wrong.
No, it's not. There's not. It's not true.
Not true, just fake news.
That is the bibliography?
Fake news, actually. Okay. What reason do you have to believe otherwise?
Well, the amount of injuries that the vaccine has caused, and
Where-
people who are dealing with it.
Where do you
including
get those reports of injuries?
myself. I am injured. What do you mean?
No, where do you get the reports, like to determine what % of people have been injured? And you said you were injured by the vaccine?
Yes,
In what way?
I have dysautonomia. Been diagnosed by it by the Yale Long COVID Center.
And they said that was specifically a long COVID.
Well, that's
So-
what the center is called, but it's a because of the vaccine.
And did they determine it was because of the vaccine or because of COVID?
They gave me no answer whatsoever. On
Okay,
anything
so
else.
then
Well,
you are
okay,
just
I
assuming
don't
it's from the
think-
vax.
Yeah, I don't think they can even be able to do any kind of test to determine like what actually caused it, because you probably caught COVID and that's what caused it.
Yeah, like did any doctor tell you that it was from the vaccine?
But there, I have to put. I mean, you have to pull up reports of countries that have done analysis on those that have been vaccinated and those that haven't, and actual long-term health issues. And those that have been vaccinated have much worse health records after the fact.
Okay, now can you give me? You understand that that's probably could be because of the fact that, in terms of a correlation basis, that those that have more serious illnesses are more likely to get vaccinated, and people who have more serious conditions are more likely to get vaccinated because they realize the need for it. So that's just not a good argument at all. Now, if you want to look at the cause, do you have any evidence that this was actually because of the vaccine, or are you just assuming this?
Well, no, actually, nobody knows, but.
So you're assuming it. So I don't know why you just acted like you had an injury from the vaccine when you have no evidence that it's from the vaccine.
You can look it up. Look up.
What
common
vaccine
injuries
did you
from the
take?
vaccine. Look up to Moderna. Look up common injuries from the vaccine. You'll see exactly what I have.
Okay. But like you
And-
have no doctor tell you that it was from so if it was so common, then a doctor would have told you that it was because of the
But
vaccine.
they can't say that. They will lose their.
Yeah, they
life, you
can.
know? No, they don't, and they can't.
What do you mean they can't?
They
Did you
can't.
report yourself to VAERS? Okay, so you didn't report yourself to VAERS. The doctor didn't tell you that it was from the vaccine. You're just assuming it. I don't have good enough reason to believe that that's true.
It started happening when I got the vaccine.
Like right after?
The day up.
The day of. And you did not go to the doctor.
Well, what I have is very low grade. It just feels like I'm on drugs all the time.
That's still something to go to the doctor.
Yeah, and I did, and I started going, and I got scans, and I went to the doctor. I saw 50 different specialists, and no one knew. No one could diagnose anything.
And none could say it was because of the vaccine.
They're not. No, I don't think they're able to conclusively say that.
Okay. Have you had COVID before?
I had COVID after that.
After that. Not before?
No, everyone got back. I got vaccinated as soon as everyone else did.
Okay. So let's assume that this is true. The likelihood of getting a side effect from the vaccine is significantly lower than that of getting the virus, and it reduces the likelihood of you getting a side effect by taking the vaccine in the first place. So for people who medically can get vaccinated, that is the best alternative for them to do so. Just because there are circumstances where there are side effects doesn't mean we shouldn't use vaccines. That's like saying some people get harmed by seatbelts, therefore seatbelts are ineffective. Well, seatbelts reduce the likelihood of people getting harmed. Just because some individuals are harmed by the seatbelt, right, does not mean that they are not reduced in their level of harm because of the seatbelt.
That's the wrong logic. What should have happened was that we should have understood the virus, and that people who had health issues and were at risk should have taken the vaccine, and healthy people should not. And I was ostensibly, and before everything was healthy. I did
But
not
you understand that you're reducing the spread to other people, and also plenty of healthy people got long COVID.
Reducing the spread to other people is a complete lie. How did I get it then?
No, it does reduce the
How did I
spread.
get it then? How did I get it then?
Wait, you understand that just because you got it doesn't mean it didn't reduce the spread or the likelihood of you getting it, right? Again,
got it
that's
3
like saying how did I get hurt even though I had a seatbelt on?
No.
That's literally the exact same thing. I still got hurt even though I had a seatbelt on. Why wear a seatbelt? I'll fly right through the window. It's the same as getting hurt by the seatbelt.
I got it right. My wife got it and I got it right away. Did not reduce transmission. It's bullshit.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't get it, so then I don't know what your point is. I got vaccinated very early. Didn't get it for a very long time. I didn't get it until like years later.
Explain to me how.
Explain to you how the vaccine works?
Explain to me how it reduces transmission.
Yeah, because it reduces your likelihood of getting it, reduces the viral load, reduces how long you are sick, reduces symptomatic illness, reduces the likelihood of hospitalization.
Yeah, so I think it might because it exposes your body to the virus. It might build up antibodies so that when you do get it, you aren't sick for 2
It
weeks.
doesn't. It technically exposes your body to the information necessary to respond to the virus.
Depending on which vaccine you took. Johnson and Johnson's.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So
You took Moderna, so I was referencing that.
But in the event that that's the case, I still got it and was sick for a week and had all of the symptoms and was I'm assuming if I was around other people, very transmissible. And I was vaccinated 3 times.
Okay. And you can still get it. It just reduces your likelihood of doing so, reduces symptomatic illness. And you likely didn't have it as bad because of the fact that you were vaccinated.
But I was healthy. Like, it was not like I was going to run into...
Yeah, you can be healthy. Dude, let me explain something. My dad's very healthy and literally almost died because of COVID. Okay? He literally almost died. He is a very healthy person. Never, ever takes a day off sick for work. He's always never sick. He's never, ever sick. He's always like that. But he literally almost died because of it. So you can be in a situation where you are a healthy person and you can get the bare ends of COVID and get destroyed by COVID. I don't think some people realize just because you typically aren't affected by certain illnesses doesn't mean you can't get affected by other illnesses in other ways. You need to be clear, like, that can still harm you. And again, my dad almost died because of the virus, right? And he never gets sick. He's never like sick for long periods of time. Hell, I've never seen him bedridden because of being sick in my entire life outside of that.
Wait, that's crazy. So what happened? Like, what did he?
He had got necrotizing myocarditis because of the virus, and he was also vaccinated. Yes.
Yeah, myocarditis. That's how my brother.
Yeah, but that's because of COVID. COVID is significantly more likely to cause this.
No, the study that was. No, the study has the side effect.
Don't say no when I know this directly. Like, shut the f up.
In fact, Parker, there's an entire section in the bibliography that
I know about this.
dozens of studies that like cover the differences between myocarditis and the vaccine versus the virus. It's well documented that the virus has a much substantial greater likelihood of making someone have myocarditis to the vaccine.
Yeah, and it's not just of getting myocarditis, it's of how harmful and severe it is for you. If you get it from the virus, it's significantly more severe than if you get it from the vaccine.
But the studies that were released showed that in a small population, it was a small number, but they didn't isolate the age range and the sex of those that caught it.
They have in the studies that Matt has in the bibliography and the bio, they do isolate for these things. There is a slight increase for young men with the certain Pfizer and whatnot vaccines, but again, those myocarditis are so minimal comparative to the myocarditis from COVID in most instances. I'm not saying in all, in most instances.
Explain to me how my brother died playing basketball.
I'm not. I never said it can't be severe. And also, do they say it's from the vaccine?
Well, then again, nobody.
Dude, you see what I mean? Did he get COVID?
No doctor will say that.
Did he get COVID? And by the way, yes, doctors do say this.
Not. I mean, in his case, they didn't say they
okay,
did.
Okay, well then, just because they didn't doesn't mean that it is COVID, or it doesn't mean it is the vaccine. I don't understand why you're assuming it's the vaccine with no evidence.
I don't. I mean, how else could it have happened? So in the cases
COVID?
where you have COVID, how long does the myocarditis last? Like, how long can you actually get myocarditis, and how long does it take to subside?
in typical
I
circumstances?
think in those who are vaccinated, it's talking about vaccinated individuals. Most of the myocarditis does resolve in a month or two. Like it only lasts a couple of months. Like almost all of the study participants, their myocarditis does eventually go away, and that's compared to those that have COVID, where the myocarditis is much more likely to stay around and actually cause the actual real damage to the heart muscle.
And these are vaccinated people or non-vaccinated?
Non-vaccinated people.
Non-vaccinated people getting COVID, they have cases of myocarditis and death.
Yes, very much. Yes. Myocarditis risk in unvaccinated individuals who have COVID is substantially higher than those who are vaccinated, because the actual risk is that the virus is actually present and alive in the heart muscle, causing the damage.
I mean, what's crazy to me is that it still happened in my brother's case, and he was vaccinated.
I think you're so hung up on that fact that, I mean, like, we're both sorry that like your brother had this problem. Nobody is trying to minimize that. Every drug, every chemical has negative outcomes in somebody. It just happens, right? There are people who can't take Tylenol. If they take even one atom of Tylenol, they'll be unalived, right? I mean, these things happen. We have to look at it not on the individual basis, but on the population level, which is why when you look at it on the population level, you see clearly that these vaccinations are much safer and have more positive outcomes than those who are unvaccinated. So you have to look beyond that and look on the population level. I couldn't say that because someone in my family got sick from it or something that then therefore the vaccine is bad for everybody else. That's bad science and that's bad data analysis.
But ideally, if that's the case, it would have been good to have the choice and to understand the risks and to say, I for my own body want to take this risk or don't want to take this risk. And at the time, it was not my body, my choice. It was you take the vaccine or you can't access society, and you have to stab
In what
your
way?
children
Like where?
with the vaccine,
What?
or they can't go to school.
Wait.
I don't think that's true.
Did you need to do it to go to school?
I'm not in school, but
Okay, so then what forced you to do it?
my daughter had to.
What forced you to do it though?
Oh, there's a million things. You couldn't go into restaurants and bars. You couldn't get on planes. You couldn't.
That's a lie. I live in Los Angeles.
Yeah, no.
I had to have a
Yeah.
card in order to get in New York.
There is
in order to
there is literally one place that ever vaccine carded me. One place.
Are you kidding? I had to show my vaccine card everywhere.
Then you must have been like in a very downtown place.
Couldn't
In
fly. Couldn't do
Manhattan.
anything. I had to show my card. 100%.
Most places did not ask for your card.
I didn't walk into a place.
And by the
that
way,
didn't-
those are specific places that want to do it. That's the how those companies are operating. That's
in
not the
place
government.
that I was in. It was an unlock to society to my old life. I was completely gated from doing wellness.
Okay.
I
well,
think,
I
but
mean,
you're forgetting the whole situation around that time. We had a vaccine which was showing promising data at being able to help individuals. We had a virus which was unaliving thousands of people a day. People were dying, and we wanted to bring society back. And the rational thing to do was to get people vaccinated, because on the population level, we knew that those who were vaccinated would have better outcomes overall. Now, once again, you, I think, were one of those unlucky few that have the negative outcomes, and therefore you're like, why me? And you don't want to now look back and say, I shouldn't have been able to get it. Many people feel that way when they have a certain medical type of things that happen to them, and looking back, they don't want to do it. But frankly, probably at the time, that was the best decision that you could have made.
also,
Well, I mean,
talk to any medical professional. They will tell you about how many people that were unvaccinated that were absolutely, literally dying, begging them for the vaccine after they're already in severe illness and possibly going to die. Right? You understand that,
I think the cases
I just
of
want to be
people-
clear here.
The cases of healthy people
It's like he doesn't
actually
listen.
dying, cases of healthy people dying was really rare. I think this makes total sense. And what I guess Matt was saying, I think it makes total sense for people who are at risk. If they fit a certain profile, 100% you should, because if you get it, you're going to die.
Dude, I'm sorry, but who the f are you to determine who decides to get vaccinated and who doesn't? That's determined by the scientists, by the people who actually know what the f they're talking about, not by random people that don't even take into account science. I'm not taking your advice. I don't think anyone should be taking your advice. I get and I understand individuals specifically have been impacted by this. You have to understand how many people's lives have been saved from this. How many people have been positively impacted by this.
No, I thought it was all about my body, my choice. Why don't I get to choose?
You did.
No,
You're talking about private businesses and their policies. Just because certain private businesses in New York decided to have those specific policies, that is those businesses.
No, not it. There was strong recommendations, requirements.
Recommendations. Wow.
What happened in the army? What happened?
Yeah, the army. You weren't in the army, were you?
But there was mandates.
Okay, I don't care. They're mandated to take so many other vaccines. They should be.
At the time, but
Dude, I'm sorry. Like, people should believe in science, and we only need mandates because people don't believe in science. If you guys just actually believe in science, if you stop dismissing the science, maybe we won't need the mandates. You know that, right?
Believe in the science if it actually made like if it actually worked.
It does. It literally does. You just didn't even look into it. You won't even criticize it. You won't even critique the actual science.
How many people died after the vaccine came out?
You're not acknowledging Omicron. You're not acknowledging Delta just because you're doing a correlation causation fallacy.
Exactly. It evolved.
Dude, this guy is ridiculous. That was happening either way. What you're doing is a correlation causation fallacy. You're saying because two things are associated, that means one caused the other. If you actually look at the data, it indicates what. Shut the f up. If you actually look at the data, it indicates. Can you listen?
This is good TV. This is good TV. Please keep. Sorry, keep.
Can you name the last thing I just said?
Please listen.
Repeat the last thing I just said.
Repeat the last thing I just. That's what you just said, bro. I won that one. Come on.
No, can you repeat the last thing I said?
Can you repeat the last thing I said? That's what you just said.
Can you stop being a dick? I'm telling you the last thing I was talking to you about, not that.
Go ahead, keep going. I mean,
why are you acting like a child? Can you just admit you didn't listen?
Please keep going. Please keep going.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like when you act like this.
You sound like my high school girlfriend. Come on, keep going.
Well, she was right. And she probably left you too, huh?
That's good TV, I'm telling you. Come on, keep going.
Did she leave you?
Oh God, I don't even know. I wasn't thinking of anyone in specific, but no, I was ever dumped. Oh, maybe once. Yeah, her name is Parker.
Okay, why are you acting like this? You know, you're acting literally like younger than the kids.
It's been really fun. You've come up on my feet a bunch. This has been super fun. I gotta go in 10 minutes.
It's been fun to get dog walked repeatedly and just to laugh at yourself because you're embarrassed.
Dude, not dog walked at all.
You got absolutely smoked. Yeah. Can you name a single point you ever beat me on?
Sure. Gosh, a lot. I mean, I think, what did we talk about? We talked about the vaccine mostly. But I think the whole my body, my choice as it applies to vaccines is something that I dunked you on. Because if you're saying
and I address that, Parker, just on a policy scale, because as someone who has like a public policy background, like that's what my degree is in, right? We know through public policy that we intervene in the least restrictive ways in order to maximize the most good. Like that's what we do. It's the same reason why we mandate that people have to have car insurance, wear a seatbelt, and that you can't drink when you drive. It's because we recognize that those are harmful effects that will impact the autonomy of other people. And it's the same reasoning behind the vaccines on certain things, that at some point that the harm that may be done is outweighed by the autonomy guarantee. That's when you are allowed to then go and infringe, and you do so in the least restrictive manner. And all they're asking is for you to take a vaccine, which at the time had data and still does, that shows that compared to the virus in which it is trying to stop, that it produces better outcomes. That to me is a perfectly reasonable policy to have, given the circumstances that we were under at the time.
I totally get that. I think what people are saying and coming out of that is that who are these people, these unelected people, to make these decisions? And sure, they can make those decisions, but if I don't have the will of freedom in order to not abide by those decisions.
You say unelected, right? Like who are you referring to?
Wait, can I also ask him, are you pro-life?
Am I pro-life? I would say yes. That's a fun one, though.
So what are you doing this whole pro-choice bullshit for?
Well, no, I'm just saying for
You're not pro-choice. You don't even believe in that.
Well, those are two different types of choices.
Oh, okay. So then why couldn't I say that?
I mean,
Because you tried to bring up this whole thing and being like, oh, my body, my choice, right? What happened to that here, right? Couldn't I say the same thing, that these are different types of choices?
Well, in one case, the body, in the abortion case, the body is an independent.
Okay, and you know that you're impacting independent individuals that are actually sentient when you don't get vaccinated. But when you're talking about an abortion,
Based
it's
on the study
non-sentient.
that reduced transmission, and yet I still got it 3 times.
An abortion is non-sentient. And also, again, you
Depends
that's like
when you
saying,
get-
you know what? I still got hurt even though I wore a seatbelt.
No, it's not.
Yeah. It's like when I take a flu vaccine, like I am at a greater or I'm at less odds of catching the flu, but I may still catch it. Like it's still entirely
No,
possible.
no, that means the flu vaccine doesn't work, Matt.
Yeah, it
I
means
mean,
it doesn't work.
same
but
thing
guess
with
what?
seatbelts.
I still get the
Same
flu
thing with
vaccine every
any
single year.
Let's get rid of all safety regulations because things can still go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like by your logic, AM, like all vaccines should be like discarded because even the most effective vaccine, which I think is like the, I think it's one of the bacterial ones, which has like a 99% like rate to it. It's still that 1%, right? One out of every 100 will catch that thing, even though they are vaccinated. Well, therefore, we should just throw them out because I mean it's still being transmissible.
Yeah, but I mean, I also like in this case, you're basing it. Let's just talk about the COVID vaccine for a second, and I got to run in 7 minutes. But in that case, we're basing it off of these really short period trials, aren't we? Like, wasn't the data like extremely short?
Yes, but you're forgetting the context in which it was in. It was during a pandemic in which a rapidly spreading virus was unaliving thousands of people a day, and the government had to have a policy. And so scientists were rushing to get as much data as possible in order to come to some sort of basic conclusion. And science, if you know anything about science, science changes over time. It's built into the system. And so, of course, our guidance on COVID was bound to change because things change in science. As you gain more data, you are bound to change things. At the time, that was our best guidance. And looking back, we probably say, yes, we should have changed this or we should have changed that. But we can't change it because at that time, in that singular moment, we made the best choice given the data that we had.
Yeah, and I know that that's the case, and I think at the
Anyone
time
else crazy? We were right.
I thought the same, but I think here, as we're seeing, and we're going to continue to see, I think, with a lot of these drugs that are rushed to market, that there are potential long-term.
Yeah, what are the
effects.
long-term impacts? Tell me.
And so you should have. The
We're
choice,
6 years later. What are the long-term impacts?
Presented more data and more.
Yeah, we're 5 years later.
choice,
What are the
understood
long-term
risks.
impacts? We're
Also
multiple years
understood
later,
that,
several
and
years.
like what Parker was saying, which is like the vaccine was.
You're muted, Parker, by the way. I don't know if you're talking or not, but
Sorry, I'm mute because there's so much feedback. So we're several years later.
sorry.
But
We're
wait, I wasn't
several years later, and what does the data say?
I wasn't finished. That there was continually there had to be these like updated vaccines to try and keep up with the mutation, right? And so you had to kind of keep taking them, but you're always behind. And so there was this whole push to kind of like take these vaccines that were not exposed to the proper trial period, even though it was known, especially like, maybe the first vaccine we were like under crazy duress, but then like, the boosters and the stuff after that, I think we at that point kind of knew like, okay, you get this and it's really not going to do much because like a new variant's going to come out and your vaccine's not going to really work. So I think that like my booster was the one that caused the issues. For me, at least, that's the one that I felt right away. And that was like however many years after. And so, yeah, I mean, I think I got to run. I got to go.
What's the data said? What are the long-term impacts of the vaccine? What happened? Did any of those come out? Like you guys said that they were going to come out at some point. When did they happen?
Vaccine injuries?
Yeah, like the long-term ones that you guys said were going to come about, where like we were going to start like all dying off. Like 2/3 of the population was just going to be by the satanic demons that were killing us through the vaccine. Like, what point was going to happen? 5G is going to kill us at what point?
Now you're putting words in my mouth. What's satanic demon? They don't.
No, I'm talking about all the conspiracies people made during COVID. None of them came true. They're all bullshit. Okay. Right? People should have gotten vaccinated. We have good data to indicate that it's effective. The fact that you're still perpetuating this bullshit misinformation 5 years later is crazy to me. Insane. Have a good day.